Okay, so I'm here to explain what happens when Moon goes into the seventh house in our birth chart. So what is the seventh house? The seventh house represents it represents like the mass, dealing with the people. The 10th house and the seventh house, they represent like the outside, dealing with a lot of people. The 11th house can represent dealing with a lot of people too, because that represents large network circles and organizations. But the seventh house, originally ruled by Libra, originally ruled by Venus, it represents mainly serious, committed one-on-one relationships or one-on-one business dealings. So, the seventh house could represent like a close relationship and bond that you have, like your best friend or whatever. The seventh house could represent you in a serious long-term relationship. It could represent marriage. It could represent business partners, business agreements. How your business agreements and business partners might turn out. The seventh house also represents luxury vehicles. Yeah, it can represent luxury comforts. It can also represent like far away places. Why would it represent this? Because four places from the fourth house is the seventh house. Four, yeah, 4, 5, 6, 7. So four places from the fourth is the seventh. And what is the fourth house? The fourth house is our comforts. You know, things that brings us comfort and luxury and security. So homes and vehicles is seen from the fourth. And since fourth from the fourth is the seventh, we see bigger forms of transportation. So we see in the seventh house, we can see luxury cars. Luxury cars can be seen from like the seventh house. Or bigger forms of transportation can be seen from the seventh house. Like an airplane, trains, a yacht, a boat, submarines, those bigger, more extravagant forms of transportation. You can see luxury homes from the seventh house, like a mansion and all that stuff from the seventh house. And since the seventh house can represent like vehicles that fly, this is why the seventh house can sort of represent travel, similar in the same way as the ninth house. So, yeah, that's basically what the seventh house is. Planets in the seventh house can describe to you the type of partner that you would, the type of person that you would marry. It can show you the characteristics and traits of the person that you would marry, and can also sort of show how you might be in a relationship, in a serious long-term relationship. So what is the moon? The moon represents our mother, our mind, our emotions, the way we think, the way we react. And that's short and simple what the moon is. So when the moon goes into the seventh house, the mind, your emotions, you can feel very balanced when you are in relationships, or the mind needs to deal with people. It needs to be socially active and interacting with people. Some of moon in the seventh house can possibly, they can't really be alone. They can't really just be in solitude. They need some type of social interaction, some type of interaction, because this is a house of partnerships, of relationships, and the mind, your emotions is going here. So you are someone who really feels balanced and at ease when you are in relationships and when you're interacting and when you're dealing with people. Someone with moon in the seventh house, they can really just identify themselves with their partner when they get into a relationship. They can really just be obsessed and attached to their partner when they get into a relationship. Because like I said, the moon is the mind, it's the emotions, and now you're in the seventh house. Now you're dealing with other people. So romantic relationships and close relationships with like your friends, they really mean a lot to you. They can really bother and affect you, and you just really identify yourself with them. So a loss of a close relationship, or like a breakup with someone, can really hurt you, can really affect you, because you sort of really thrive off being in relationships, and you can easily identify yourself and get attached to someone, in your relationships. If you was to go and pursue and do like your own business, become an entrepreneur and stuff, you would be someone who would probably really, you would really care about your customers. You would really care about the people that you, sell to. So, you would just really cater to them. Probably, tell them, hey, I'm running late on delivering your order, but I haven't forgot about you. Or, you would just be very probably courteous to your clientele. But all of this can be changed depending on aspects in the sign that your moon is in. Someone with moon in the 7th house, they could attract a partner who is who has a youthful appearance. Their partner could have a youthful appearance, or they would just attract or settle down with someone who is just young, either their age or younger than them. Because the moon, even though it represents the mother, the moon represents like eternal beauty, like eternal, everlasting beauty and grace. You know, it's like fine wine. It just ages properly. You don't look up at the moon at night and be like, oh, that's an ugly looking moon. You know, the moon always looks good. So you would attract a beautiful, attractive partner. And they would either be your age, or they could be younger, or they just look very youthful, you know. Other characteristics and traits about your partner would depend on, you know, what else is in the 7th house. And it would depend on the sign of the moon in the 7th house. And last but not least, I think that's just about it with moon in the 7th house. The moon represents your mother. So maybe with the moon being in the 7th house, maybe some way, somehow, your mother could have some type of role and impact on the type of people that you date and get into a relationship with. And potentially your mother could be very skilled and good at dealing with people. You know, maybe she just has good people skills and just good with dealing with people in general. I don't know. But there could be some type of relationship and association when it comes to your mom and relationships, or your mom and your spouse. So your mom or the people that you date and get into relationships with can be seen from this. And that is all I have to say when it comes to what happens when moon goes into the 7th house. Thank you for watching this video. Hope it gave you good insight and clarity on what happens when moon goes into the 7th house. And thank you. Bye.